Welcome to Cover Saves, a show where we play exclusively 30k and we're never looking back on 40k.
Not anymore.
yeah. So divorce settlements.
It's all gone.
Yeah, it's all gone. It's all gone.
8th will fix it though.
The moving company comes Monday. So yeah, I've got Matt Stricken with me, who has brought his what you got, Matt?
I have 2,500 points, Sons of Horus, like always.
And you brought someone special, didn't you?
I did bring someone
the
special.
Man himself.
I did. So we'll see how our other Lord of War does today.
Oh. And as well, I have Thanos, who's got Taghmata.
Yeah, Taghmata on the side today. So should be fun. Lots of stuff that's hard to kill. And
oh yeah, and it's very well painted. Yeah. Who painted those, by the way?
Clarence painted that, and he's here today too.
Oh so. Yes, he is. What's your company, Clarence? Just yell it. Remember. Mohawk Painting Industries.
Yes, that's the one.
Add them on the Twitter and whatnot.
Donate.
Donate on Patreon.
Because I have a very tragic story that
we'll tell that later. So anyway, we're doing 2,500 points. There are 4 objectives on the board, and we'll be back with armies and terrain stuff.
Thanos back with my list, and Clary's got my book with my list in it. I will just snag that, and my list isn't here, so I have to run this off of
pure memory.
Okay, so anyway, I got 2 single units of Castellax here, Darkfire cannons, and enhanced targeting rays. So ballistic skill 5. I got a squad of, this is an elite slot, a squad of Secutors all with grav, so 10 grav, and they're in a Triaros armored conveyor. Some more troops here. I got 2 10-man units of Tech Trolls. Just keep it simple. No upgrades because it's just filler units today. I've got 1 Krios tank squadron, and they all have the upgrade for the awesome gun, the ordnance gun. And a 3-man unit of Castellax with Destructors, so tank hunters. Thalax cohort, sorry. And then I have an HQ with Cyber Familiar, Lacameris, so if any of these units die, I can roll a 5 up and they come back as an ongoing reserve. He's got Chain Fist, he's got Power Fist, he's got no shooting basically. Oh, and he's got a Machinator Ray, so he has a few extra attacks in close combat. He's in a unit of 4 Irradiation Engine Destructors, so anti-infantry unit, and he's just basically there to protect them and smash things in combat. And they're in a Triaris as well. And finally I have a Knight Megara in the back because he's painted and he looks cool, and well, hopefully he gets lucky roll state because he's not very good.
Stricken's 2,500 points to Sons of Horus. We're going to start up the front. We have 10 Reavers with 2 melta guns, a power sword, power axe, chain axes today, and the chieftain has a power fist and artificer armor. We have our 9-man veteran squad with a heavy bolter, and that's it for them with it being. Oh, and my sergeant has a power axe, melta bomb, and artificer armor. No melta bombs because of the FAQ at the moment. And there's also Malagurst accompanying this unit. Our second unit of vets over here, 10-man squad, has 2 plasma guns, a Vox today, and the sergeant has a power fist and artificer armor. Both veteran squads have Rhino dedicated transport with dozer blades. Back we have our trusty Sikaran battle tank with las cannon sponsons and a dozer blade. 2 individual javelins, each with multi-meltas. Our new unit that we just painted up this week, our Justarian Contemptor Dreadnought with dual grav, chain fist, extra armor, and he's got his own handy-dandy pod. And then we have 5 Justarian with 5 combi plasma, 3 power fists, and the man himself, Horus Lupercal. So it's first time on the channel, so we'll see how he does today. And that is my 2,500 points.
Deployment is finished for Mechanicum. What we've done is pretty much chose this corner. Tanks here with grav, tanks here with super flamers. Unit here to basically follow along the tanks in the rear so they can't get charged from Horus's shenanigans or something. Tank squadron here, so getting ready to shoot things. Megara falling in behind, again, protection, essentially. And then I've got another 10-man unit on this objective, which just seems smart. And these two solo Castellax kind of just to move up because they have like essentially infinite range on a 4x6. And I have a unit, I have Deep Striking Thallax Cohort in reserve. And I will see you at the end of turn 1.
Sons of Horus deployment. We'll start up here. My Javelin is hanging out behind a building out of line of sight to everyone right now. Then we go over here to a little bit of train we have going on. In the front we have our Plasma Veterans, followed by our Sakaran. And pulling up the rear in the gear is Mal with his Heavy Bolter Vet Squad. Not much on the board, but I got a buttload of reserves, so we'll talk about that in a second. Our 10-man Reaver Squad outflank. Our drop podding Dread will come in first turn as per standard rules. Our Javelin will also outflank, and Horus and his company will come in between turns 2 and 4. Probably turn 2. And that is the end of my reserves. I'm going to try and steal the initiative because I brought Horus today. I get to do it on a 4+. So, let's see how our dice are. Yay! So, this is going to be Sons of Horus, turn 1. Sons of Horus, turn 1 after a successful siege. We're going to start over here with my drop pod. First game, so I decided to go balls deep. And I scattered 2 whole inches right in the rear of his entire army. It shot into the knight. I got 1 haywire shot, but the ion shield stopped it. But it's a distraction, if nothing else. Much cheaper than the knight. So, other than that, my Javelin stayed here. It's out of sight, and I want to see how my opponent's going to react for the first turn. I scooted my veterans over, popped smoke. Scooted my other veterans, popped smoke. And moved up my Sakaran, shot into the Krios. Well, the Accelerator, doing really well today, did 2 hull points right through the flare shields. Las Cannon failed to go through. And that is the end of Sons of Horus turn 1, so we'll see after the Mechanicum turn 1.
Mechanicum turn 1, so we'll just go through what we did this turn. I moved this Triaros over 6 inches. I'm not too sure why I didn't move 12, I should have. But I moved it over 6 to get these Krios so they could have a firing lane on the Sakaran that was here. And the Sakaran failed its penetrating, one of its penetrating hits, I got 2. And it exploded. First blood! It will not die back a hull point from this Krios. I moved this Triaros up and used my Mauler to shoot the Rhino, but he made his saves, and so it did nothing. I shot with my Megara, which did nothing because its gun is really, really bad on the drop pod, but it charged and it did, because it's immobilized, 4 automatic pens, and the drop pod is gone.
Exploded!
The 2 Castellax fired into the drop pod, and he made the saves for his cover, so they did nothing. And I just moved up the tech thralls onto the objective right here. And the other squad of tech thralls moved behind the tank, just in case he has some deep striking shenanigans on my rear armor. So I'll see you back at the end of Sons of Horus, turn 2.
Sons of Horus, turn 2. We're going to start on my right side of the board. So my Reavers came in from reserve. They had no real targets on this side, and because of the Fleshbane guys with Torrent, I decided to move them behind the building and then ran them up 5 inches. My Rhino scooted up 12 and turned. They're just chilling in there right now. My second Rhino with vets just stayed in here and moved up a bit. Might have some plans for them coming on. I moved my Javelin from here. I originally moved it here, and then due to a tactical error on my part, not thinking things through, I didn't want it to get Darkfire Cannon. So I flatted it out up here, past my save, so it can still move freely for now. For the fun stuff, my second Javelin came in on this table edge. It fired into the Knight that was previously here. I did 2 hull points. I had the explode result on the multi-melta, so that's what it was caused from. My Graviton Dread fired 2 shots and did a haywire shot into it. It then charged the Knight. It hit all 5 times, and with the Chain Fist and Armor Bane, in the end we calculated about 14 hull points. So it went kaboom. It scattered over here, thankfully, away from Horus, because that would have sucked for the D. So that was good. Horus and his Justarian Honor Guard deep struck here. Shot all my combi plasma into the rear of this tank here, because it was closest. Ended up destroying it. And then Horus called down his precision bombardment. Hit here. I originally scattered back 4, rerolled because of the Twin Link Ordnance. I ended up destroying this weapon. I killed 3 thralls, and I shook the...
Trios.
Yeah, the Trios thing. And that
Weapon
is
destroyed.
Oh, weapon destroyed with the Culverin that's now magnetized and gone. And that is the end of Sons of Horus turn 2. So we'll see you for Mechanicum turn 2.
Turn deuce. We'll start over here with Castellax number 1. He shot again, and for the second turn in a row, he's rolled 2 1s, so he did nothing.
Got him a jink though.
Yeah, we got him to jink. That Castellax shot and jinked. This Castellax shot Doodad and got 1 pen. So home point gone off of this deadly bastard. Move these guys a little bit more because Horus said hello and they got the fuck out of Dodge. Move this tank deck, dropped an ordnance shot here, got an instant death shot here. He made his invul save, so I couldn't kill one guy. Put my tank up here just to block charge lanes onto my infantry and my other Trieros. This Trieros rammed the Rhino and did 2 hull points, which was pretty nice. And then we move back over here where we got this Trieros actually put 2 hull points with its smaller bolt cannon on this Rhino.
Malgus Drive.
And dropped out my unit of IRAD radiation thingies, and they killed 4 guys, including the champion, out of the Reaver Squad. And then lastly was up here. Deep struck the Thalax cohort. 2 of the guys could see. He jinked. And I actually did 2 hull points, pen and a glance, but he made both his jink saves. So we will see you back on Sons of Horus turn 3. We forgot one small thing. There was a leadership check that had to be made over here with the Reavers. A morale check, sorry, and they failed. And since Malagurs, this was what the issue was, Malagurs was in the Rhino, so he doesn't grant his Fearless to the unit. So they fell back, and then at the beginning of the Sons of Horus turn, they failed again, and they fell back off the table.
Sons of Horus turn 3. Both of my Rhinos just moved, they stayed in place, and then I unloaded my guys. A whole bunch of rapid fire with my Death Dealer, and I killed 3 of those dudes. Quite a few invulnerable saves were made too. Horus and his company charged the remaining tanks. I killed both of them. I tried to make them blow up so they would be out of the way. Unfortunately, with, 15 attacks, I couldn't roll a single 6, so that was pretty funny. My 2 speeders flat out because they were, this one, sorry, shot its Twin Link Cyclone. It was jinking from previous turn, but I still managed to kill 1 guy who's right on the objective. My second speeder flat out just to get behind stuff for now. And then play of the game, well kind of, my Contemptor made an 11-inch charge, flubbed all of his attacks, got 1 through, and then the invulnerable save stopped it. Castellax tried to smash, but was unsuccessful in hitting. And that's the end of Sons of Horus turn 3.
Mechanicum, bottom of turn 3. We'll start over here. My Irad engine and Archmagos unit templated Malagos and his unit and then charged. I lost a dude to Overwatch, but I wiped out everything but Malagos. So very good combat there. I dropped a whole lot of grabs on this unit. Killed a bunch of guys. Took a whole point though on my Trieros. But again, that was very good. My unit of tech thralls all shot at the Terminator unit, and there was 1 wound, and he failed to save, so I got another one of these just turn guys. I used this Trieros to shoot a land speeder, and I believe it killed it, right?
Yep, it blew it up.
I used this Castellax to shoot the other land speeder. It failed. It made it. I think it made its jinx, and then he charged it and just removed it. Over here, I did a smash attack to do 1 wound. He came back on me with his awesome melee attacks of 10 strength chain fist action, and he did 2 wounds. Over here, we're containing the objective, and finally over here, the Thalax cohort took out this Rhino, and they are on the objective, which is under the Rhino. So we'll be back at the end of Sons of Horus, turn 4.
Sons of Horus turn 4. My rolling has left me after turn 2. So we're going to start over here. Mal and his unit died. to the Warlord and the last guy there. They moved an inch up close to my Rhino. My veterans shot and charged into the Thallax. My dice went really cold. I lost 3 guys. I managed to cause 2 wounds. Justarian charged into the Thralls and murdered them. Horus tried to charge into the Castellax. He failed. I tried Fleet and I failed again. And then I caused another wound and received none in return for my Contemptor. And that is the end of Sons of Horus turn 4.
Turn 4, what has transpired? My HQ unit moved up slightly and dropped a Melta-Shot into these Justarians and a IRAD radiation thingamabobber and did 1 wound. This unit of Myrmidon Sicators finished off a charge over here to finish off 2 Marines, and then they consolidated back this way to block this charge. The Thallax, they consolidated just to be on the objective, which is under that Rhino. Both Triaroses, this one as well as this one, they each shot at this Rhino over here. They couldn't finish him off though. And then we move over here. There was 2 Castellax in combat with this guy. He finished off 1, and the other one here is now just sucking up wounds to try to end the game. And my Thallax are just hanging out, or Tectorals are hanging out on the objective. So we will be back with Sons of Horus turn 5.
Sons of Horus turn 5. Not very good. My Justarian moved up, killed 1 guy. I decided not to charge because I was going to try and contest, but unfortunately the objective here is half an inch close enough. So what can you do? Horus tried to charge. He made an 11 inch, but he needed 12. So that's funny. And then my MVP Dreadnought one-shotted the Castellax. Shame he couldn't do it to the other one beforehand. Consolidated 3. Unfortunately, I am 2 inches short from that, so I can't deny that one. So that's the dice. Let's see it for the end of Mechanicum turn 5.
Mechanicum, bottom of turn 5. Not much actually happened, actually. So we had a Mauler Bolt Cannon destroy a Rhino. So the Rhino's gone now. And then we had a whole lot of shooting into the Justarian unit. Did a couple wounds, I believe, but didn't kill anything off because of the angles of the shots. Charged in, killed a bunch. They killed a bunch back. It was a tied combat, so they just did. The Mauler Bolt Cannon from this trio shot into the unit, didn't do anything. And then that was the end of that turn because nothing else functionally did anything. So the final score is Mechanicum 7 and Sons of Horus 1. And we will...
So you got 1 objective there.
1 objective here. So that's 3. 1 objective here. So that's 6. Then 1 for First Blood. And then Sons of Horus got 1 for killing my Megara Night Titan. So we'll see you at the post-game show.
Welcome to the post-game show. You totally just watched Aaron and Matt play 2,500 points and didn't fast forward because you're good people. So I'll go right to Clarence to tell us Matt's MVPs and epic fails because Matt had take
Matt's
off.
MVP was his Contemptor Dreadnought.
Obviously.
Not only did it look like a gangster, it also killed like one in the streets.
His placeholder name is John Cena for now.
Yeah, sure. You want it to be Sabotage.
665 was the count.
He only hit an 11-inch
665,
charge,
oh
not a pure 12-inch. But yeah, I killed the Knight, killed some Castellax. Pretty sure killed some other shit.
Who needs the Leviathan?
I mean, everyone does.
Of course, so.
He's going to be backhanding the Contemptor into the ground.
Epic fail was...
Epic fail was, of course, the
Reavers.
Yeah, it was going to make a me and Reaver joke. Anyway, it's too tired to make it.
Exactly.
They did fuck all. They got flamed and then ran away, much like many Tumblr people.
They were triggered.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it was a good one, actually.
Yeah, well memed.
Aaron, MVP.
Holy shit, eh?
Secular's are cool.
Well, it had to be the Flamer guys.
Oh yeah, full flame for sure.
The IRAD engines. I think they killed like 2 full units. They always do well because it's like...
They literally are cancer.
Fleshbane with like rerollable ones and the HQ.
Then Power Fist.
And then Power Fist for whatever's left. Yeah, with rerollable one. They're pretty fucking dirty. Epic fail, eh? The knight, obviously.
Yeah.
The knight did nothing. Like
It's
nothing.
that initiative, I guess. Eh?
Well, it killed the drop pod.
It did kill the drop pod.
It killed the drop
First
pod.
blood.
The tanks actually might. The tanks
I think
killed the
Sakaran was
Sakaran.
first blood.
Yeah.
First blood
Oh,
was
yeah,
the
yeah,
Sakaran.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess the tanks did their job, but
Yeah, they tank hunted.
They look awesome too.
they're awesome models.
I keep thinking they have a demolisher
right.
cannon just because
The
the giant
Medusas
front.
are. They're in our order, so
Yeah.
6.
Oh, good. There we go. I'm excited.
I won't even be able to deploy when I have all the tanks. It's going to be dirty. We're going to have to extend the deployment.
Exactly.
Just gonna put more terrain on so you can't
Yeah,
actually.
exactly.
He's like, fuck you, like.
I'll just put only
I'll stack
necromancer terrain.
I'll stack
Yeah, yo, like, not with that.
You could technically stack those Medusas too.
Got a leaning
Flat top.
tower of Pisa of shooting and
Stack them 3 high. And the way blasts work now, it just goes all down no
Yeah.
matter what. You can't even stop it. One template from the Typhon, they're all gone. Oh, boo. Cry.
Clarence, because Matt's not here, 2 minutes or less thoughts on the game.
I think it was pretty close up until the very end. Matt managed to congest Aaron's advance down the middle, and Horus really poured on the pressure with his friends.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
Contemptor got some shit awful luck fighting the Castellux for like 4 or 5 rounds of combat.
Gandalf the shit out of that.
Bit of a learning moment when he found out that Torrent and flame templates don't actually conform to like space when it comes to placing them or going through like objects. You can like, as long as you have line of sight, you're getting flamed at the end of it.
Yeah.
And that fucking Myrmidons are really good. Also, Thalics are the best in melee. We've learned
Apparently.
that.
It's all this shit talking.
Yeah, other than that, like, not too much you could have done. Once, the Reavers were a really poor loss because he was.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. He only
Would've
took
been
4
able-
guys, right? And
Yeah, then he would have been able to hunt the Thalics down, and kind of stabilize. Maybe go for these dudes.
Yeah.
Other than that, ended up having to split Horus off in friends. I might have tried running him instead of going for the
Yeah, he should have
charge.
split him earlier, I feel.
Well, no, I just think the run with Fleet would have been good enough because he still had another turn. All he had to do was contest the objective.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, instead of going for the double charge.
Just go for the I'm here, do something about it.
Yeah, because if he ran, he would have been here. Then he could have
nothing
moved
could have killed
and
him,
then
so-
charged.
Yeah.
Or moved and ran again, because he didn't even need to kill the guys, he just
Yeah.
had to contest. So 2 moves and 2 runs would have, I think...
Yeah.
Yeah, but more than enough because he was right here, and 2 moves in a run should have been able to do it because Fleet.
Yeah, his Fleet as well. And then, again, if the Reavers had stuck around, they would have been able to kill the Thalics, and then nothing would have held that. So, could have easily...
And the Reavers are great for maneuverability on this board because
Yeah.
they can go where the fuck they want.
Could have easily been.
But most
1-1
especially,
over instead of.
back off the
7-1.
board is where they wanted to go this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, good on him. The knight died really fast. I was sad to see it go because it looks really cool.
Pod Alpha Strike is good.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty known. The Dothraki talk about it all the
It
time.
is known.
Yeah, exactly.
Aaron, 2 minutes or less thoughts on the game.
It was fun. It's still getting my feet wet a little bit per se with Mechanicum.
We're supposed to demons.
Yeah, it's more playing too much demons than playing Mechanicum because Mechanicum needs sort of help in assaults. So a good example was there the Thalax were in trouble, send in help late game. They're very much an attrition army shooting. You can lose tanks, you're still okay. Your infantry is really hard to kill. Board presence is a little rough. We learned a lot about that right now. It's hard to get out, which is another benefit we kind of take to granted with Alex. The ability to deep strike helps the army out a lot.
Well, just be able to hop over stuff too is huge.
Oh yeah, to be able to get places. The Triaros shine again. They're nigh unfucking killable. The other tanks die, but they take a lot of everything takes a lot of
Or good smackdown, yeah.
Right, and we learned a lot
Except
about
for
the
the
knights that the points could have been put
invested into an Atropos.
Yeah, other things,
Yeah.
other things. But all in all, it was a great game. It was close.
It was neat, man.
I didn't think there was any real mistakes per se. I guess he's not used to playing with Tauren Flamers, but I played the army of Tauren Flamers with demons, so.
You have that army too that's got all the unique weaponry for itself, right? It's
Oh
not
well,
a
they
lot
do
that's out
everything,
there.
so it's a good army to learn,
Yeah.
but it's not forgiving for a long time because it's really complicated and annoying. That's
Yeah.
why we play Mechanicum now. So we had a great game. A little bit upset about the Titan dying right away, but wanted to really kill that Dreadnought to even the score, but that didn't seem to want to happen. So
I still think if I was with me, I would have come down there and just blocked. I would have been in the center and just been like, let's hold him in here, and I can just kind of.
I wanted him to kill the dudes and for them to go back into ongoing reserve.
Oh, and come right back and take the objective.
Yeah, cap them over there and just be like, yo, I get outplayed.
I'm Tyranids, bitch.
It's like the ultimate insult.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I
you
guess
just kill them off one objective.
Another
and they
small
score.
negative is you only get the 6 troops, right? So with them you could easily get more.
And you only had the 3 scoring, didn't you?
And only 3 scoring, yeah.
Yeah.
But the ability to get the guys back, possibly get the guys back.
Now, if Matt had some artillery, he could have really rained down the hate on the last lock guys, right? Or what were they called? The little tech rolls.
Oh, but from how he was playing, I don't know what he's played like normally, but from today he was taking like full advantage of like the rights from his army.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
like you're never going to be a Sons of
right.
Horus player who's not taking advantage of like death dealers.
He's very dedicated to playing the way it seems like that faction's supposed to be played, like the assault guns and stuff like that. But yeah, you're right, because he has the automatic backdoor Justarin with the with Horus. If he had locked that drop pod up there with the Dreadnought, that really forces this package back here. If he drops them, drop them back there.
You had the parking lot effect here, and
Right.
I mean, your knight, even if it wanted to, just like even if there was a charge, you would probably have to waste a turn either destroying its own wreck or something else to get there. And like you being smart, you probably just been like, okay, I'll go this side. I'm just gonna like make sure that's mine. You know?
The difference is I asked him if he had a chain fist in that unit of Justarin. He said no. So the thing is the knight actually has a very good chance of surviving and killing the entire unit, including Horus.
Yeah.
Because there's no chain fist. So you have to have at least a chain fist in the unit. So I think that's something that
could have smashed the knight.
Right.
Although Worldbreaker didn't perform that well.
Right.
Today.
I don't think it did anything today, but
It tried.
but yeah, I would have. His Dreadnought was finely tuned for a good fucking knight beating.
Yeah.
And it definitely
fucking gave the knight a tune-up.
It definitely I was just saying the other day with the Reaver Titan and Scarbrand, he's only fucking 6 strength, 7 strength on the charge with Armor Bane, and he killed that shit. And this guy's 10 strength with fucking Armor Bane. I was like, what? My fucking guy's gonna get toasted right away. It's not gonna be funny.
Oh yeah.
So,
but I think Horus could have also slain all your Myrmidons pretty easy. Like if you got into your 5-man unit.
well, there's blocking here too, right? So there was the 3 vehicles here.
You blocked it off pretty well.
Plus another. These things aren't small.
No.
And then I can. So I mean, he would have been chasing all game, and then he had to break them and blow them, and
blow them.
It's not easy. But you're right. If he could get to them.
Oh yeah, because he just world breaks
Right.
them. Like he gets 5 or so attack space, and then if he's attacking things with weapon skill
4 or less,
yeah,
it's
you get
actually
D3 more, and then if
Yeah.
you charge, so you can get up to 9 or 10 attacks with Horus, and just fucking wail on them with your hammer.
Yeah. Things we could have done differently. Changed basically mostly list design.
What would you have? You had
I wouldn't play
assuming
with
his list is the same, and you.
I wanted to play with it because it looks really fucking cool.
It does look amazing.
And but that army doesn't benefit from using it. It benefits from having more things to help the things on the table. So
I guess the only thing going for it is it could operate on its own. What you could have done with it is you could have put it in reserve and just brought it on this edge and just been I'm just gonna stay here. Come at me, because that way he's got to approach you carefully, right?
Right.
Because although it's great that he's got the Dreadnought, if he has to fucking, but that's the other thing too. If these guys got to come down turn 1, he can't go for the knight if you hold in reserve.
Right.
You just bring it in where he doesn't want
Well,
it.
a good example is he had nothing besides his 2 land speeders and his 2 rhinos that could do more than 6.
And the land speeders, they can
So,
harass the knight. They have to
Reavers.
really get around it, right?
The Reavers could.
Right, because they were the assault troops. But like, anything that had mobility for me would have been outstanding, right? So more Thalax or like you're saying, Lachmaris or whatever the fuck it is. And get
I could have also seen putting one of the Triaros, the big guys. I could see one of those in reserve only because you can't assault out of them. You can still drive on.
assault out of them.
No, I'm saying you can still drive on and just get out and shoot.
Right.
So you'd have your whole line to react, meaning like,
Right.
let's just say, for example, you came on here to take out the Dreadnought before it got too deep.
That's a good point.
You know.
That's a good point. If I leave it in reserve, then I can counterattack to things that happen.
It's the nice thing about when you're
just
doing
worry-
corners deployment, because even though you're stuck in that corner, like you're kind of forced to do 9 flank, you still have your whole edge, so you can still do the nice death spiral.
It was unfortunate. Like, if I had known about the 4+ to steal the initiative, I would have let him deploy first. And then upon his deployment, you're right, I probably would have left the Triaros in reserve because his drop pod hadn't come out yet.
Yeah.
So then waited till, and then his Dreadnought would have just died in one shot. Easily.
On the upside, though, you did create a really nice kind of blockage of stuff. Like, it's very hard for him to go away.
It hurted me, but it hurt him probably even more.
Yeah, definitely. And the nice thing, too, is even though he's blocked, you have 2 doors. So you can be blocking his movement and then get out on the other side and shoot something else. So it's kind of double duty.
And I think we go beyond 5 and I get to just Aaron, but...
Just air tough, man.
But
2 wounds.
But no, I like the army, especially when you can help your units. If you can help your units out late game, it's very good late game. So you have to focus on things. And it's whenever you see like those really tanky units, it makes you cry because it's hard to get like beat through it.
Yeah. So assuming you pulled out the knight, what do you think you'd toss in? Assuming everything was painted that you had and all was ready to go.
Another unit tech thralls, probably 3 more.
35 points.
Three more. Thalax cohort, maybe. Yeah. Just like small things.
Would you do 2 3-men or like a 6-man?
And then another heavy slot. So either a Thanatar and then
you could slide one tank over, do 2 and 1.
Or you just like take it out and almost flip flop for another 3 of those Krios tanks, another whole unit of 3.
Oh my god.
Which is fucking insane.
The only problem there is mobility, I feel, just to get your own shots off.
Oh yeah, or Reductor plays with 12 of those. So.
Oh Jesus.
Because they got the 4/6 Medusas too. Well, I usually try to play with 12, but that's retarded. But
So it was interesting to watch. I'm excited to play against Mechanicum. We got to do that up soon. I just have to paint some shit, obviously. I've been hacking on that big time. I don't know. Do you guys want to segue into our favorite segment of Shit Talk 40K?
I think my favorite aspect of some 40K games is showing up to your like pre-scheduled game and having a Reaver Titan put down in front of you. I think that's a pretty fun experience.
That's the funnest experience.
That happened this week. And I was just like, a what?
A Reaver? What?
So, I came to a game expecting 30k lists, and I was playing against 40k lists, which wasn't that bad, but there was a Reaver Titan, and then another player playing with a Titan army.
Yeah, the Knights.
So there's 4 Knights in one list as an allied attachment, and then a Reaver in one list. Luckily, I was able to keep the Void Shields down. I think it has 4 or 5. But Void Shields are pretty easy to take down, especially with like Soul Grinders and things like that, because it's only 5s and it's just, that takes 1 away, right? But he did 9 hull points to himself off of like one of his shots.
Oh, scattered back.
Yeah, he tried to hit 2 Soul Grinders and scattered back down himself and did 9 hull points.
Karma.
So that helped. Scarbrand took it out, but I learned a lot with.
The thing cut off there. You were saying, Thanos?
No, it's just it's interesting that the 2 games are so different.
One still feels a little more balanced to me. I'll leave it up to the viewers to think which one it might be.
It's hard because, well, when we play, there's a lot of more infantry, it seems, when I come here, which is nice. But some of the other people, like, they just play like basically all tanks.
They play Apocalypse.
Yeah, it's hard when it's like there's quite a few. Well, when you get down to like the really competitive stuff, there's a lot of spamming as well. So there's still spamming in this. Like,
you can totally spam in 30k. Yeah. I've just noticed that we don't have those like games where it's like 17-1 in 30k. The highest score I think I've seen is like 10 or 11.
No, and this was super close, and it was 7-1, but it was super close. Like,
but it could have also been like 4-3.
Yeah, it could be 1-1, right?
It could have been very close.
It's a lot harder to get Warlords when there's Primarchs on the table. Mechanicum, luckily, have really hard to kill HQ slots. So.
Yeah, you got Mal, even though he wasn't the Warlord. He could have been the Warlord. I guess technically he's the Warlord. No, it's still Buddy. It's Lord War.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that's only not if it's Horus, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
No, Abaddon is. Abaddon's the has to be.
Oh, because he's the first captain, right?
Yeah, pretty much. There's yeah.
I haven't played against Abaddon.
There's usually like one dude per legion.
But Horus is fucking awesome. Like Horus is just amazing. It's funny that the ordnance shot, I haven't felt that yet, but 10 strength is crazy.
The only
it's odd that it's not a fucking barrage.
I have one in my book and it's 8. So
the only bad thing about Horus is that he's 500 points.
Oh, he's a little bit more than the other ones, right?
He's yeah, a lot of points.
Is there any other ones that are 500? I think the jacked up Logar is like 475. Right?
Yeah.
My guy's
He's the most
almost
expensive.
500. He's 400.
Yeah, no, him and Logar are very expensive, but Horus is the most.
Yeah. Logar's pretty much the only guy that has a chance, right? Fully jacked out Agron?
I forget the stats. Like, there's a stat breakdown, but the end result is like Horus, I think, always wins.
Because Logar only has the 5 and 6s for once per game, right?
Yeah.
Like that special thing.
Lorgar arguably looks cooler.
It's just the talent.
Yeah, the mace.
In a Primarch fight, it's the talent that just shreds other Primarchs.
Right.
Because you lose like initiative and attacks or something like that. For every room you take.
So when are you pre-ordering your Death from the Skies book?
I'm just gonna PDF it, print that, and then burn
And
that
shit on it,
because
yeah.
it's a bit cheaper than.
I have a question. When you're trying to keep 4 planes in a line, how do you do that when there's terrain on the board? Now that's assuming you play with terrain. Anyone know?
I don't know. We
You
had
move it out of the way. And you
Yeah, just get this out of here.
so
shame your
from
opponent.
the internet's understanding, they want to have a massive change. So we're told that 8th edition is coming somewhat, or 7.5.
we have to pay for 8th edition, yeah.
But they want to make the game
Gare.
easier to play and less convoluted. And then Death from the Skies is
More
less,
convoluted,
Is
yeah.
more the most convoluted thing they've probably ever brought out. I mean.
It'd be one thing too if it was like the Planet Strikes, like it was just an expansion, like, hey, do you want to play it? But they're making it like mandatory.
It's almost like the
Which is
first
insane.
Death from the Skies they came out.
Yeah,
with.
that no one played because it was shitty, like this one. And
Well, it's also in competitive 40k. I mean, there's only like half a dozen flyers that are even usable. So it seems like
and it actually
out of the book
changes
of
up which
flyers.
ones are good. Like all the Necron
Yeah.
ones are awful. Fucking
They just made the
in
older ones
terms,
better.
yeah, basically.
Yeah,
Standard operating
I
practice.
guess the one Dark Angel flyer is decent, and then like
Yeah.
the fly rints are still okay, but no one plays Tyranids.
Well, that's what a lot of people point out that is odd about the book. That like the book completely omits FMCs from even the equation. Like it's a book about flying stuff, except for half the stuff that flies. So it's like, all right, let's just not touch that at all.
No, and it's just weird.
I
And
got a kick out of the Bell of Lost Souls article of like top 5 or 10 or 5 whatever Forge World flyers that need to get updated.
You
And,
mean
like,
all of them?
that was today, wasn't it?
It's today or yesterday, and Buddy's list is literally like, my friend owns this, so it's on the list. He has like the tiger shark instead of the barracuda,
Oh, good.
even though the barracuda is like a crazy good flyer and needs like a rose
It's
up there.
probably
It's
the
the
best
fucking one with the railgun on the front, right?
Yeah, it's the one that
The 3+ J or 2+ fucking J.
it's like 2+ Jane can like in
Christ.
turrets that ignore
Because
cover
Tau.
and like the strength 7 missiles off the front and
And they shoot independently, don't they? So
Yeah.
you can just be like, oh, is that 2 other flyers out there? Like, I'll just get them off my ass.
and then he has like he's the Manta and the Thunderhawk on it just cause basically he has a bunch of shit that his friends
Because the
play.
Thunderhawk has a fine stand.
It's
like-
things that his friends play, big Forge World things, the Fire Raptor because it's literally the best plane ever, and then like an honorable mention of the Charybdis, and he's like, well, it's like barely even a fire. It's like I think like the most anticipated Forge World things is literally anything from 30k because that's the most used flyers like from Forge World. It's all gonna be 30k shit. Like,
Yeah.
It's gonna be the Dreadclaws. It's gonna be the Fire Raptor. It's gonna be the Charybdis.
I look
like,
forward from like
Cestus.
Dread
Doesn't
Claws intercepting planes in reserve. And
But it doesn't take much for GW to print a super overpowered model in 40k, and it sell like crazy,
Oh, yeah.
right? Like you go through the list, like Riptides, Wraith Knights, Storm Surge. I mean, what else? The Night Titans. Like, who doesn't know someone who has a Night Titan list like that plays 40k or 30k? Like
G.I. Joe.
so. you just print something that's really good and really easy to field, and everyone will buy it.
And then fact it 6 months later.
And then in 30K, people can't even build a list properly. So, you know, you need several people to check a list, depending on the person you ask.
That definitely is the downside of 30K. The like $14 that are all over the map.
Well,
like, the stuff updated.
However, it's still more of a downside for 40K than it is for 30K.
Oh yeah, no. I'm glad that Forge was slowly moving into digital because it kind of needed to happen in some regards. I think. Because it would already
move into digital for all of your releases for the world.
Yeah, it's a little harsh when it was what 30. They announced the $30 or $40 for your codex when you had to pay like $100 for your current hardcover one, and the hardcover ones are missing models because they keep pumping out models. Yeah, which is a little frustrating too. But
anyway, they were gonna come there.
GW's trying.
They are sort of.
Their FAQ is an attempt.
But again, it's one of those, like, if it's just one intern who's overburdened and isn't even allowed to talk to either the marketing team or the game design team, not very useful, but
no,
we'll see.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Anyway, have a good night.
Yep,
good time.
Gods of war, may your hammer be mighty.